What is going on, guys? I'm a minute late again. Sorry about that, but I'm glad to see we got some people in here. Okie dokie. Rob, how you doing, guys? It's good to see you. Okie dokie, you're Ron. Is that right? He says hi, Ron. So I'm still getting to know some folks that are showing up, but I appreciate you guys showing. Appreciate you guys being faithful. I'm not going to use that other L word. Seems to be a bad word. You guys know that word I'm talking about, I think. Not trying to pick any pokes at anybody, but Mr. Ron, how you guys doing, huh? Yep. You guys might be able to see that I am not in my garage. A and B, what's going on, man? Good to see you again. I'm actually on location again. I'm over at my sister's house, and this is my brother-in-law's office. He works from home, so I got this glorious background going on. He's really got a nice office in home, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have this place. I apologize if you guys hear like piano in the background, but the family's still going about their business. Every Sunday we got family dinner, and we're just over there. So, anyways, we didn't make it home, so that could be in the garage or wherever. But I'm actually in the process of planning out my own home office, which is going to end up being my studio. And I'm excited to kind of reveal that to everybody because you guys will be surprised how small my closet is, but I'm going to call it my offit, which is my office / closet. I'm going to build a desk in there and rearrange, get rid of some clothes, kind of go more minimalist with my clothing, things like that. And I'm excited to put that together so I can have a nice little thing. Maybe I'll drop a green screen or something like that. But yeah, I'm excited to be live with you guys tonight, and I'm excited that you guys are here. So we're going to talk about a few things tonight. So welcome to the most irresponsible YouTube live in lawn care. I'm thinking about changing that because we really honestly don't get that irresponsible around here. I bring up some politics, sometimes some religion, but people seem to be steering clear of that, and that's okay. I don't mind. We're just going to. The heart of it is we get to talk about whatever we want, and nothing is really off limits. But the only thing you got to do is just be prepared to understand, to receive other people's perspectives, other people's thoughts on matters, and I'm always going to come from kind of a faith standpoint. That's just the way I am. So, Rick, how you doing, buddy? It's good to have you. Mr. Joffrey, welcome again. I love you guys. I'm so glad you guys are here. So one more minute, and then we'll just kind of jump into it a little bit. I got a couple of topics I'd like to talk about, but I don't know if it's going to take the whole hour. And I'm going to see if I can put an invitation up here, okay? See if I can't get there. Invite a guest. All right, select all, copy to clipboard. I'm still working this out here. See if I can't get some comments in here. I might have to go like this to get my comments. Doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm on my phone because I didn't have my computer, so the phone looks a little bit different than the computer, so it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to put an invite up there. Oh, post a comment. There we go. I got it. Paste and chat. Okay, there you go, guys. The link is up there, so go ahead and cut and paste that if you want to join. I'll just get you in there, and I don't know, maybe we get multiple people, or we can just kind of like bring you on and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, and then maybe bring in someone else and see what they want to talk about. But Mr. Gary, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you back. Excellent. I hope you guys are doing well. And by the way, if you do come on, if you want to come on, I'd love to just hear what's going on in your life too, because this isn't just about me. This is about getting to know everybody. And so I'm going to talk about me as long as I can talk about me, I guess. But I'd love to talk about you guys. And nobody talks about you better than you. So if you got something going on you want to share, then just go ahead and accept that invite, and we'll get you on there. Hey, it looks like I might have one. And it's Mr. Rick. So here you come, bud.
How we doing, Matt?
Hey, there you are. How you doing, Rick?
Look good, buddy.
Excellent. It's good to have you. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just sitting around taking it easy.
That's what I like to do. That's my favorite thing to do, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since we had this ice storm. That's one of my topics is the kind of a natural disaster going on here in Oklahoma.
Have you been busy in it? You been doing any work?
Not me because I'm scared of heights. So when you talk about getting up in trees, that kind of scares me a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I got a friend at church and he does trees, and I know he's busy. And so I'd like to get out there and work with him a little bit and kind of learn the business because I got approached this year by another friend that has a roofing company, and he knew that I did lawn care, of course, and he said, "Hey, he's like, how would you like to go out and bid some jobs and maybe do some tree trimming?" So, well, I'll tell you this: I don't do tree trimming, but I'd love to learn how to bid them because I'm lost on that. Do you guys do tree trimming, Rick?
Yeah, we don't get too far off the ground though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the way I am. If I can reach it with my pole saw, then I'm all right with that. But eh,
I'll say
so
Rob's been busy though, ain't
Rob has been busy. He has been busy. I'm glad he's been able to take advantage of that because uh, he's fixing. Well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but he's fixing to make some changes next year, and I know he's excited about making more money, and I think he's going to make a ton more money. So it'd be nice if he could, kind of pad that account a little bit to prepare him for that.
he? Absolutely. Yeah, I hope he
Hmm.
does great.
Yeah,
I was
yeah. But there
hoping
were
to
a
see
lot of
him
guys.
tonight.
What's that?
I was hoping to see him tonight.
I know. The talk last week was that his internet is just so slow that I'm not sure it'll support it. But
Right.
if he comes on, Rob, man, you're more than welcome, man. If you want to come on the program, we'd love to see your face if your internet will support that. Yeah, he said he's really busy. Let's see if I can pop it up there. Yep, really busy
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So, but I know he's only going to handle that for so long because he's got some paint jobs lined up. I know.
Are they making any headway as far as cleaning all the trees up and everything? Matt?
Um, yeah, they're doing pretty good. A lot of people are out there. Either they're hiring somebody or they're doing it themselves. But the city says it's going to take weeks and possibly months before they get everything picked up.
Really?
Yeah, so everything's going out to the curb, and man, the piles are getting big.
I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. I only had this little tiny tree. I got this little red bud in my yard, so I lopped a couple limbs off of that. But other than that, I didn't have anything on my house because I just don't have any trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that ice is fierce around here. Do you guys get ice where you're at?
Very seldom. I mean,
Really?
yeah, we're lucky to get snow. I mean, but it's just because we've not had no bad winters in the last few years. But now I look for us to get a bad one this year.
Yeah. People were suspecting that we were going to have an early winter this time, and I think it did come a couple weeks early. I still had lawns scheduled, honestly, and not because they were growing so much, but I was scheduling people's last lawns. But but yeah, it came a little bit earlier, but more so than earlier, it came colder uh, than normal. So like now it's back up in the 60s again.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were just below freezing in the overnights. We had some in the high 20s, and that was unusually low temperatures. The ice was really unusual, but our temperatures are usually, higher than that, like in the 40s, 50s around now, and that's like the
Yeah.
low, you know. Hmm.
See where Rob
So
said he's gonna be booked for a month or so.
yeah, I believe it. I believe it. So, but
We don't letting up for him, are they?
no, not for him. And I could go out there and make some of that money too, but it's just like how it is at the end of your season.
Yeah.
I mean, are you like me? It's like you get a little selfish with your time. Like I kind of want
Well,
some downtime.
yeah. I was like, we're not working tomorrow, but we got 2 other days that we're going to be working this week. But the thing
Yeah,
of it is, we can wait now till it warms up. We don't have to be in no hurry because we're not pushed. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So we're just tomorrow's supposed to be like 49 high tomorrow, and then the next day it's going to be up 65 to 70. So
yeah. Is your
so yeah.
grass still growing? in that
Yeah,
temperature range?
yeah. Some of it is. We
Yeah.
got some commercials that they've told us they want us to mow after Thanksgiving.
Oh, excellent. That's
That's
nice.
first. That's the first for us.
Yeah.
But it ain't growing now. But they still say they want to mow.
Yeah. Well, that's the easy day of work right there. You just drive
Oh
around
yeah,
a little bit and go
yep.
away. There's no blowing, no nothing.
No, no, they ain't nothing to blow off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Today I did a little bit of leaves, but now a lot of, even if there was lawn work to do, people are still picking up all the limbs off their yard. So, you know,
yeah.
because I wanted to start spraying, but my spraying is going to be behind a little bit until people get their yards cleaned up.
Right. Do you spray all through the winter?
Last year I didn't, but as long as the ground isn't frozen, I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I just want the ground to be able to absorb it. So, but once the ground temperature, you know, uh, starts once we get an actual hard freeze, I'm pretty well done with that. So, I'm thinking at the end of February I'll start back up, maybe early March, and I'm hoping to be done with all of my spraying by the end of this month. But I've only got 22 spray accounts though, so it's fairly easy to handle that.
Don't they usually are like 4 seasons of spraying normally?
Um, I don't spray through the summertime because the temperatures are too hot.
Uh-huh.
The chemical, it's really easy for the chemical to injure the grass. You know, you get little brown spots everywhere. It recovers, but people don't like seeing those brown spots even if they are temporary. So I stick with fertilizer through the summer, but the springtime to early summer to fall time are good spraying times.
Right.
And winter, as long as it's not frozen, the winter it can still be sprayed in. Yeah,
Do you use yard book or jobber? A and
I
B
use
low.
yard book.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep. Yeah, yard book. Although I think with my spraying, because I'm not sure I like the chemical application part of that much. I'm just I don't know why I just don't keep up with it very well. I don't know why, but so I think I'm just going to go to more of a primitive, just paper, paper forms for applications because I got to keep records of those. But as far as maintaining jobs, sending invoices, I love yard book and it's free. I use the free
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, really, I don't use. I mean, I use it some, but for the most part, I'm just pen and paper,
yeah,
old school.
yeah, yeah. Now I've got a system where I use paper while I'm out on the job, and that way I can like make notes. I can write
Uh-huh.
things down, and then usually at the end of the week, although I get lazy, I get really lazy on this, but at the end of the week is the goal, and I'll go through all my jobs and I'll invoice everybody, and you know, but hopefully through the week I'm marking them done. As I do, I'm marking them done.
Right.
But if not, I've got a backup paper, and if for whatever reason Yardbook crashes or I don't know, I lose whatever
Right.
capability to track on
Right.
Yardbook, I like having that paper copy. I love,
Yeah, I do
because you
too.
can, yeah, it's like a source document. So, I mean, if the rest of the technology world goes and you can recreate everything if you wanted to just off of these like daily worksheets I have, and I don't think you can beat it honestly, but the whole point of the electronic stuff is so that you can consolidate data and recall a specific piece of information quickly. But other than that, you don't really need anything but paper and pencil.
No, no. I mean, I do. I sit down. It takes me about. I got a planner, a
Hmm.
big planner, and I'll plan. I'll sit down and do the whole week on a Sunday night, late Sunday night. I'll do the whole week.
Yeah,
Be set for the week.
yeah, yeah. Now, how many accounts do you maintain?
Well, right now we ain't doing very many, but usually it's like 70 to 80.
70. So you'll go through a list of 70 properties roughly a week,
Yeah,
and wow, how long does that take you
to do the properties.
to do all the accounting and yard
Oh,
book to keep
I
track
can
of all
do it.
that?
I can do it in about 30 minutes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
You're a lot more proficient than I am.
Well, what I do though, I got a book with all my customers. You know what I'm saying? I got a page with
Hmm.
all my customers, and what I do is I just go down the list, and as I go down the list, I write down what I do them all on the same day. Every customer's got their own day, and
Hmm.
I'll do like I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We try to finish up on Thursday.
Hmm.
Monday's usually our biggest day. We try to do between 25 and 30 on Mondays. And
Wow.
then
Okay.
then Tuesday we it gets smaller, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then usually Thursday, uh pretty big. But what I do, I always tell Caleb when I'm doing the schedule, I may overbook
Hmm.
like what we're gonna do. If we don't get it done, then we'll just do it the next day, you know.
Hmm.
And I always notify the customers too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it I mean it yeah, so we have done as high as 80 in a week, but yeah, I can do it in 30 minutes. So I can go down, like I said, I can go down the list and I know what day that we do the customers on.
Hmm.
And I just write them down on that day if they're due. We got bi-weeklies and we got some we do every 3 weeks with their cemeteries and they're
Yeah.
like in a real shaded area and we
Yeah.
don't do they don't get overgrown or anything.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing I could do. If it was a residential, I don't think I could do a 3 week schedule.
No, I
That,
won't.
no.
No.
Yeah. Or
But
even like a 10 days.
our bi-weeklies are usually the ones we do bi-weeklies are like they got a lot of shade and they don't grow real fast, you know.
Yeah. Mr. Rick, we got a couple of requests coming in. We got one from Joe Longcare and Josh. Well, oh, Josh looks like he just revoked his. I'd like to bring in Joe. Would that be all right?
I with me.
Okay. Here we go. Mr. Joe, you there?
Oh yeah.
I can't see you.
Uh,
Are you in front of your camera? Oh, lost him. I guess that's okay. Yeah. Well, I guess while we got a break in that moment, we got one more guy watching, and Braden Sertich. So how's it going,
Yeah.
Mr. Braden? Good to have you. Yeah. Let's see here. Booked all day. Really bad. Just taking a look at the comments. Ooh, Guth has a story. You want to bring Guth in?
Yeah.
Joffrey, man, give me a request, man, and we'll get you in. Yep. And Mr. Joe, I saw your Mr. Joe sent me a private chat saying, "Hey, would you let me in?" So I guess I was a little too late for him. Sorry about that, Joe. Yeah, yeah, it takes me a little bit longer. I don't know why. For yard book, it seems like I don't know if I just don't have the flow of it down, but I bet you I could sit down for about an hour probably and
Well,
go
that's why I
through.
don't use your book on that part.
Oh, okay.
I use pen
Yeah.
and paper. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I
Ah,
pen and paper. I can do it in about 30 minutes.
yeah,
Not,
that makes more sense.
no. But I was going to ask you on your
Hmm.
book, like when you put all your customers in, are there any way that you can set it up to where you can say schedule, and even though it's been 3 weeks, will it bring those 3 week customers up on time?
So, like, if I understand you right, what you're asking is, like, if the schedule is going to deviate, but you want to keep the same cycle,
Right,
for instance. Okay,
right,
so if you're going to reschedule one day, or like push them off to the next week, but then let's just say they're biweekly, but you want all of them after that to be pushed.
right.
Okay, I think so. I've never done it this way because I've got almost all of mine are weekly. So usually
Right.
all I do is just cancel my job and they're on the schedule the next week anyway. Um, so in that way, it's easier for me. But what you can do is, um, if you want to, Is it an edit or is it a reschedule? I think it's the edit function. It'll ask you just this date, or do you want it to affect every other date after that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you edit it and you change like the start date, I think if you reschedule it, I don't think it gives you that chance. I think it just asks you if you want to push it off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. But if you hit the edit button, it'll ask you if you just want it to affect this date only or everything else after it. So you might just actually just change the schedule for that particular job.
Yeah.
So when you set it up, you might say, every Tuesday on a biweekly basis starting on this date. You know what I'm talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So before it goes to that, that's what it's going to ask you. It's going to ask you how far out do you want this to actually affect it, or do you just want to change this one? So that's what I would do. Is I would say
bi-weekly starting on the 14th.
Yeah.
They have bi-weekly after that, it automatically pop up.
Yeah, I think so. As long as you're opting for it to change everything after the date that you selected.
Right.
And not just this date, I think.
Right. Okay.
So if you try that, I'd be interested to know how that works out, because like I said, almost everything I do is on a weekly basis. So usually I just cancel a job, and you get pushed off a week, or I might do a reschedule. But if I do a reschedule, it doesn't give me that option to affect everything after. It knows it's just this date.
I don't think the yard book has an app. I know you have
it does.
Does it?
It does. Yep, but it's not nearly as functional as the website. Thanks for the question, A and B. It does, and they've got it for both Apple and for Android. But I use an Android, and they've had that out much longer. So A and B, are you working with Apple? Is that why? Because I'm not an Apple user, but I do believe you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I think they did finally come out with that. But the app it's really good for daily, for completing jobs and putting notes in.
Yeah.
And you can even take pictures and stuff. But as far as like all the scheduling that you do, it's not nearly as functional as a website. So I find myself on the website a lot.
Well, I know that's what I've done, because I'm trying to think what app it is. It ain't Yard Book. It's I've typed it in on the App Store, and it don't show Yard Book. It shows Yards something else. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, I always end up going and Googling Yard Book and get into my account that way.
Yeah. Sometimes it seems a little bit easier. I mean, but the app is really good. I found out for either like when you're on the job, you bring it up, it comes up quickly, so you don't have to log in or any of that type of stuff. It just comes up, and then you can and your jobs for the day pop up automatically, and you swipe one direction or another depending on whether or not it's done or whether or not you're going to reschedule or cancel it. So, and then you do a sync, and it'll sync with the website. And then, so when you go to the website to actually do the invoice, because you can't do any invoicing, or I think you can actually bring up Google Maps. So if you don't know how to get to the property, it'll use the address that it has, and it'll show you a route, things like that. And there's other stuff for like crews, like they can clock in and clock out on it, things like that. But a lot of the deeper administrative stuff, it doesn't have that functionality at all. All right, I think we got another request. It's Guth. Sorry, dude. I'm going to bring him on up.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, you there? There you are.
Yeah.
How's it going, Joffrey?
Good.
Good, good.
Your beard looks great.
Yeah.
Right here, this No Shave November. I started today. So I shaved today to do it perfect,
You're probably going to be twice as long as me by the end of November.
I doubt it. Hold on.
It's good to have you, man. What's your story?
Well, you had just mentioned at the beginning how, we always have the we don't have the most unresponsible, show. I'm afraid if
Yeah.
I talk about this, we might now. I don't know, but um, crazy, crazy week. I just tell you how crazy things are. And sorry to hear about the ice storm and everything. That's awful. So
Yeah, there's still a bunch of people without power, and I feel for them. But fortunately, our neighborhood's been really good. And but some places look like a tornado came through it, and other places are like, not so bad.
yeah, well that's good. I mean, but good for you at least, I guess. But yeah, I was surprised. I saw that it was colder in Oklahoma City than it was here. So
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah,
But
unusual for us.
no, this yeah, we talk about, or you said we don't mention politics or anything like that. Well, this is kind of a little bit of that, I guess. But this week, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to post anything on Facebook anymore.
Oh
So
yeah,
um, I know most of you, just from talking to you guys, I think we're all kind of like-minded in a way, fairly conservative folk. And
hmm
anyway, I don't know if you guys saw when they had the town hall with Biden, and they were talking about a mother from Pennsylvania talking about transgenderism and how her
hmm
8-year-old um, was transgender. Well, anyway, I made a comment on something, and I'm just make a long story short. Uh, People didn't like what I said, and they went straight to the school board and to the superintendent and took a screenshot of what I said, and
Wow.
tried to turn me in for basically my opinion. And it's just crazy how this world is now. You got to
Yeah.
really be careful. So just a heads up, you guys, what you say and do.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
shame. It's a shame too.
Yeah.
Luckily,
So.
luckily, the superintendent of our school, I talked to him about it, and he's very conservative, and he agreed with everything I said. And he
Well,
said,
that's helpful. That's certainly
it
helpful.
was your opinion. You didn't do it at school, but it's just crazy, kind of the world we live in.
Yeah. Now, did he try to encourage you to not do anything like that again, or just like, hey, would you mind laying low,
Yeah,
or
he
was
just
it just like, don't worry about it?
no. I mean, he said. Hopefully, you can hear me. The kids are kind of whining in the background. He said, you kind of remember when you're a teacher, you're in the public, and you kind of got to just have a bubble around you and be careful what you're saying. So I said, so now's not a good time to kind of respond back. And he's like, no. But actually, it was funny because I made the comment. I just glanced at Facebook, made the comment during lunch, and within like 10 minutes, I get a text message from our pastor saying that, hey, there's a pile up on you on Facebook, and these people are saying they're going to go to the school board. So I'm just letting you know this. And so I deleted the comment right away, but they had already taken a screenshot of it. And
Yeah.
just ridiculous. It was basically a bunch of people that are really far to the left, I guess you'd say, from where I'm
Yeah.
at. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but had you made a leftist remark on it, there wouldn't have been nothing said.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's one of my big problems, because this year, I don't know if you guys have noticed some of the stuff, because I'm not really out there on a lot of guys' lives or anything like that, but there's been a few times where I'm like, man, I'm just kind of like off the news for the most part. And because social media, man, I mean, I'm willing to talk about anything, but I'm not engaged in any of those,
No.
like I'm not a part of any of the like conservative groups. I'm not part of the liberal groups, because it's just, that's what happens. That you got the opposing view, and they're stalking on whatever it is, and they're looking for an opportunity, to try to hurt somebody, when this is a public, platform, and your comment, I mean, it was obviously relevant to the subject. It wasn't like it was like just out of the blue, on something that was just completely irrelevant,
and it was,
so it's just,
I was just gonna say it was wasn't a forum or nothing. I mean, it was just a person that I was friends with. Obviously, I didn't know well enough, and it was like, boy, their friends all sure took their side, and I was just left in the dark, and obviously talking to the wrong people. So it's never
yeah.
know.
I usually get taken off guard. Every once in a while, I'll post something on Facebook, and it's usually something religious, something about my faith. But And sometimes I get a thing and it kind of takes me off guard sometimes when somebody kind of brings something kind of aggressive towards me. I'm like, wow, where'd that come from? Like, I think you mistook what I was trying to say or something, but it's just extreme viewpoints, and, but,
And that's exactly what it was for me. It was, I just felt like led that I needed to say something because their whole thing was, these kids are born this way. And I'm like, no, the Bible,
yeah,
you're born male or female, and it's like,
yeah.
I wanted to make that known, that's kind of how I feel. And I usually don't comment stuff like that. And now I guess I know better too. So,
Well, I don't think it's ever wrong to do the right thing.
No, I don't either. I don't either.
So, I mean, if that was what you felt was the right thing to do, then it's never wrong. I don't think we should ever have to second guess when we know something's right, or to stand up for what's right. We should never have to second guess ourselves. That's just not. As strangely enough, I learned that from Glenn Beck.
Yeah.
I was listening to him, and some of the stuff I'm like, okay, whatever, Glenn, whatever. But he made that comment once. He said it's never wrong to do the right thing, and I was like, man, that's one of the most true things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I've been listening to him a little bit this year, and I enjoy listening to him. So
yeah.
But
Hey, Jay and Christine,
guys, if we don't stand up for our values, they'll take them away from us too.
Yeah, I mean that's absolute truth. Johnny Moe, man, what an honor. Did you guys see that? Johnny Moe just came in. I was thinking about you today, Johnny, not in a weird way, but I was sharpening blades, and I was thinking about Dex because Johnny Moe just did a video on. I say he just did a video, maybe I just watched it, but it was about high lift blades. And anyways, the guy's a genius.
I listened to a lot of him, buddy. A lot of him.
Yeah. I was out there sharpening my blades, and I was thinking about that video he did. Yeah. Anyways.
He's the reason I bought the Z Master.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got
Nice.
one. He got one too, and I watched him all the reviews and everything that he had on it, and I went and tried one out. I bought
it. Yeah. Would you like to talk to Johnny? Have you ever talked to Johnny?
Yeah, I was on the live feed with him with Ben. He come up with Ben one night.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna give him an invite, Johnny. Man, check out them comments, and if you wanna join the show, if you got anything to say to my audience, man, I'd love to have you on. It'd be an honor for me.
Oh yeah, I can just sit and listen to Johnny.
I know. Yeah, I love to. Whenever he talks about mowers, talks about mower maintenance or like the design of the different decks, I'm always kind of amazed at that because
he does research.
He does. He really does. And I wish I could be more minded like that. But I'm such a, I've got what I've got, and I'm just kind of getting it down with what I've got. And when I get there, I'll think more about it. But most of the time, equipment and business, I like the hard knocks route for some reason.
Yeah.
I like to make the mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have him up here.
Yeah. If he's willing, I'll take him for sure. It would be an honor for me. So what else is going on, Mr. Rick?
Well, we got two pretty good sized jobs coming up this week. We got one leaf cleaning, one property. We got a leaf cleanup, a lot of brush cutting, and we got to cut down some trees.
Yeah.
Then another one, we got big hill that we got to weed eat, and a big property to mow and do a lot of and then we got to do the commercials.
There you go. There you go.
We got a lot of work lined up. It's just we're not piling it into 1 week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're going to try to work 3 days a week at the most.
Yeah. That's what I like about this time of year is because I do get to spread things out just a little bit. You know, I mean, I have more margin in my schedule and a little more flexibility. So, and sometimes those one-time cuts come up still about this time, you know, and people just want that last cut and clear things out, make it look nice for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, David? Live, David? How you doing, man? So let's see here. What else we got here? Sometimes I miss comments and I don't want to miss anybody. Joffrey's computer died on him, so that's how he ended up getting off the show.
Jay's Crazy Cuts on here. Hello, Jay.
Yeah, man. They are so good to me that they show up just about every week. I don't even know if they've missed one. But he's asking about that sprayer now, if I've tried it out. And yes, I have, but not with chemical. Rick, did you see that sprayer that I bought?
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. I was looking at it. I was looking for sprayers because my Chapin sprayer, the battery quit working on it, and I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of that guy. It's like once one thing goes wrong, I'm just like, this might be an opportunity for me to find something better.
Yeah.
So I may just be able to buy another battery and work just fine. But I've always had a problem with efficiency. You know, I haven't been as profitable with the spraying because I've been working out of a 4-gallon backpack sprayer. And, you know, it's interesting. Johnny Mogan's on here because when I first started wondering if I was going to start spraying or not, he gave me some advice on one of my videos about a potential plan or something that he might do. It was kind of a what would you do kind of segment I was doing. And but anyways, I'm taking this opportunity. I bought this sprayer when I was looking for them, and I couldn't. I found like a review section, like top, you know, backpack sprayers of 2020 or whatnot, and this review website came up, and the #1 sprayer was made by a company called Petra. And I was like, man, I've never heard of them before. So I was like, but they're like the #1 thing. So I immediately go to YouTube and I start trying to find YouTube videos of people doing things with Petra backpack sprayers. And I only found like one, like that wasn't actually made by Petra, the video itself made by Petra. And it was by Long College. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a video, and it was on a 6.5-gallon backpack sprayer that mounted on this cart and it had 100-foot of hose. And I was like, man, that might be a niche for me. So I went to and he gave it pretty good reviews for the most part. He said it felt like it sprayed well and all. He just didn't really say anything bad about it. So I went to the website, and lo and behold, they had a 13-gallon on this cart that I could roll around, and it still had the same 100-foot of hose. And it was between that and this used skid sprayer that I wanted that I found on like Marketplace. So my wife was like, why don't you talk to the Lord about this, because she always wants me to really think through my purchases.
Yeah.
And I'm not a thinker when it comes to this. So I can't lie. I only half honored her. I did talk to the Lord about it a little bit. But it was kind of like one of those ultimatum type prayers. I was like, okay, Lord, if something doesn't go right with this used skid sprayer, then I'm just going to buy this one. So I went to meet this guy for the skid sprayer, and he never showed up. You know, and he wanted $1,000 for it, but it looked like it needed a little bit of maintenance. He said it needed a pump, about $200 is what he called it, but it had like 300-foot of hose. It was a 100-gallon tank, and it was really actually a better fit for anybody who wants to do commercial spraying.
Right.
But so I told Laura, I said, okay, if anything happens with this deal, I said, then I'm definitely going to buy this other one. So dude stood me up. So I was like, okay. So immediately I gave him 15 minutes late, and then the 16th minute I'm on Amazon buying this sprayer. So I got it in, and I was excited, and it was really easy to put together. But then I started trying out the different nozzles, because it comes with different nozzles, and it had a cone nozzle, and it had like this double cone nozzle thingy deal. It was kind of weird, and just all these different things. But it had a fan nozzle, which is what I'm used to spraying with, and so I put that one on last, and lo and behold, the tip blew right off of it, and I just got this steady stream of water coming out the wand. So I'm like, the one nozzle that I want I don't think I can use it. So Jay, that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I will tell you this: I called Petra, and they're really responsive on the phone. And the first time I talked to him, I talked to a gal named Jenny, and then I talked to a fella, and I can't remember what his name was, but he was really nice. And I was telling him the problem I was having. And he said, "Well, he's like, you just need to tighten up this little, nut on there because it kind of compresses this O-ring and just makes it like clinch uh, around the
Tighten
wand."
down on the hose.
Yeah, exactly. He said, "You just need to tighten that up." And I was like, "Man," I said, "I've already done that. I've already put some like pliers on it and tried to really tighten it down, but that part was just plastic, so I didn't want to do too much on it, and I
Right.
figured it was tight enough, and it was still blowing off. He says, "Well, it looks like we need to send you a new wand." Then I said, "Well, all right." And he says, "I'll put it in the mail either Friday or Monday," and he says it'll take about 5 to 7 business days. I said, "Okay." So they were really good with their customer service, and that was one of the things that I found to be that other people have had too. That whenever they had a problem, this company has been really good to make things right with them. And but other than that, it seems like a really sturdy sprayer. It's got like this 1 inch bar type frame on it, like almost like a hand truck,
Yeah.
you know, except it's lay down. Um, it seems to spray pretty well, but it's hard to tell because I don't. I have trouble distinguishing shades a little bit, so I'm just spraying water on concrete, and it seems to spray okay, but I'm not sure if my nozzle's messed up or not. So but it still remains to be seen. But so far, pretty good.
Yeah.
you know,
That's what I've been wanting Caleb to get into. I'm wanting him,
yeah,
hopefully, I'm going to try to talk him into going and taking a class this winter while he's off and
yeah,
trying to get his license to where he can spray, get a certification where he can spray. Because I'm telling you, there's as much money in spraying as they are mowing if you get set up right. Hey,
yeah.
John.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, sorry, I don't know how long you were waiting. I didn't mean to keep you waiting, my friend.
How's it going, guys?
It's
Good.
going really good, Johnny. It's a pleasure to have you, man.
Hey, what's going on? I just jump on real quick, say hi.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, Rick,
I'd
I
love
see you.
to. I'd love to just kind of give you the floor, man, for whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, I'm just come in to say what's up, answer
Yeah,
questions, chat, whatever you guys want to do.
Do you spray,
excellent.
Johnny?
Oh yeah, yes I do.
Do you think it's a good idea for me to get Caleb to get his get into spraying
Do you have a lot of fertilized lawns? You do?
down toward Honey? Well, the thing of it is, we may not have some, but there's a lot of fertilized lawns that don't get sprayed. Does that make sense? We don't do them, but they would. I think the market's there to pick up different customers as far as spraying.
Um, I think it's a good thing. It just depends on what your business model is. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like it. I think it's really good with mowing because you can fertilize and spray in the morning and
Yeah.
mow early, late morning to afternoon. I
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to mow. I don't want to do mulch and pruning and that kind of stuff anymore.
Right.
I'd rather do the spraying and the mowing. As
Yeah.
I'm getting older, I just find myself getting wore out of the trimming the shrubs, cleaning them up, hauling them
Yeah,
away, dumping the truck.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, I think I've always said this: mulching and mowing don't go together because it always
No.
needs to be done at the same time in the spring. There's that
mhm,
big rush Memorial Day weekend. They want it done, and then by the 4th of July, if you don't have all your mulching done, it gets to be a pain because after about the 4th of July, customers kind of lose interest in that stuff. They
Yeah, they
want it
yeah,
do.
looking good. They want it looking good. So, and
yeah,
then you have the grass growing through the roof during that same stretch of time.
yeah,
If you got to do 10 lawns a day during the spring, it takes a long time to do them.
Yeah.
yeah. Now,
But yeah,
Johnny,
if you're
that's
into it, get into it big. Don't just
Yeah.
dabble into it. Just get in it. Get yourself I would get myself a nice ride-on spreader, and I would go at it. if you're going to do it.
Yeah. Johnny, do you do a split on your spraying, mowing? Is there like an ideal split for that, or would you say the goal would be your ideal client would be like 100%, like both spraying and mowing, or do you try to do a split?
Right now, I got about 90% of my customers. I got about 90. I got 10% I need to get for the next year. But there's no way I could. There's no way I could mow everyone I spray.
Yeah.
It's not possible. I looked today. I have 170 customers. I just looked today, and there's no way I can mow 170 in a week.
Yeah. That's 170 spray customers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. There's no
Yeah.
way I could cut that much in a week by myself.
Yeah.
But I think the spraying, the profit margin, the numbers, the gross numbers look good in spraying, but the profit margin isn't as good. So right now, what I've been doing, I basically was off all last week. I've been calling different suppliers, trying to get a couple things. I need to raise my prices, and I need to get the material cheaper because I really broke the numbers down. I fine-tuned my ride-on spreader this year, and I really dug into those numbers, what was coming out the chemical side, what was coming out the material side, and obviously the cost of the ride-on spreaders. It's pretty expensive there too. So I
Yeah.
really took this year and really nailed down those numbers to figure out, where I need to be. I'm not where I need to be. I'm just not. I need, in the problem where I'm at, I'm declared a depressed area. So if someone's doing a lawn for 40, it's going to be hard for you to go in there and say, "Hey, I want $50 for that lawn."
Right.
The pricing in this area, I'm at the higher end already. I've done several bids this year, and I got one, for example. The last company did it for years, and they were doing it for $167. I came in at $223, and that's a pretty far apart. And that happened a few different times because the company that I was bidding against sold their company to a much larger company. And I've been doing a lot of their bids, and I was usually really competitive, but on about 4 or 5 of them, we were way off. So I have to figure out how to adjust these numbers. These numbers need to be fine-tuned. And I got the mowing. I just redid my mowing formula. I did a couple bids last year. I landed one of them. And the formula that I did on that one was perfect. I mean, I'm making top dollar. And so I just redid that mowing formula because it's been so long. I've never really had to bid lawns before. I've always just, whatever it was, it was. I mean, I had customers for like 20 years. And now that they're getting older, they're passing on, moving, going into, long-term care. I found myself actually the last couple of years having to actually bid lawns again. I haven't had to do that for a long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny, you go out and do a video on the formula on the bidding of the lawns.
I've done many videos.
I've seen them in the older ones, but not the updated because prices change as years go by.
I have the same formula. I just updated the amount.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just updated. You plug in. I measure everything when it comes to plowing, fertilizing, mowing, mulch. Everything is measured with a measuring stick. I want to know how many acres I'm cutting. I want to know everything. And then once I get the square footage, let's say it's a 42,000 square foot lawn.
Right.
Let's say it's an acre. Acre's about 43. I times that by my formula, and then I get the number. I noticed I was doing a couple bids, and my old formula wasn't coming out right. I just wasn't making the money. Because see what happened back in the 90s and 2000s when I really sprinted, I really grew. I obviously every few years I'd raise those accounts $2-3, and then once I started doing new bids, I used that old formula a couple of times, and those lawns did not come out right. I wasn't making the money. I was used to
Right.
those customers being around for a decade, and about every couple of years, I would raise them $2, then I'd raise them $3, and then I'd take them to that $5 level. Meaning, I would get them in 5 years. I'd get them up to the next $5. So if it was
Right.
40, within 5 years they'd be at 5. So it'd be 45, and then I'd start them on the next break, which would be like 47, then 48, and then within 5 years, a decade, we're sitting at 50 now, and that's when, you keep those customers for so long, you don't do much bidding. And when I started doing bidding a couple of years ago again, it was like, whoa, these prices are too far off. So I had to really up my formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having to change ours this year too because some of the lawns we're doing, we'll go in and tell them, they're going to have to pay more. And if they're not good with it, I'm just going to have to let them go because we're not making nothing on them.
Yeah.
We don't have a whole lot of them like that, but we do have some that way. And I mean, you have to make your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always grow the top, dissolve the bottom. I look
Yeah.
at it this way: you grow your top, you dissolve the people at the bottom. That two reasons: you're just not making enough money,
Right.
or every time you pull up to the lawn, you absolutely hate it. If there's
Right.
a lawn
Yes.
that you do, it's gone. For me,
Right.
I do not. It doesn't take me long. If I got a customer that's just not happy every time I pull up, they're complaining about something, and and you feel uneasy, they feel uneasy, they're gone. They're that
Yeah.
year,
Oh, I do that too
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
they're
And
out.
you know what, Johnny? I've kind of found out. That's only happened to me a few times. Not because I'm that good or nothing, but because I've generally had a pretty small client base, so it's just I don't have as much opportunity. But yeah, I think the client. I mean, if the relationship is like that, they feel it too.
Oh yeah,
And it's just a matter of time anyway. So you might as well both get on your way. They can find a new lawn guy. You can go, find a lawn you enjoy mowing. Yeah. When I've cut the last couple of years. Last year I only cut a couple lawns, but it was an easy choice for me. And the first ones that went were the ones I just couldn't stand going to. You know, I
well,
even kept one
you
that
might
was a
even
little
have a
less
lawn.
profitable.
You might even have a lawn that, if there's just part of it you don't like. You don't like the extra weed whacking.
Yeah.
It might have a hill there that you don't like.
Right.
Life is so short, and I think 2020 has taught us at least that life is that short.
Mhm.
Amen.
You don't want to waste it doing something you hate. If you pull up there, you figure you're going to cut that lawn about 33 times. You do not want
Yeah.
to waste your life cutting a lawn that you hate. At least for
Yeah.
me, I don't waste too much time. If it's a lawn I don't like, it's on the drop list quick.
I've dropped a couple that way this year because I absolutely despise going to them, and we dropped them. Then if they complain, that gives me more of a reason to say, well, we're going to have to drop you anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I drop them.
I try to get them. I carry business cards around with me from my other competition.
Yeah.
I always try to get a business card from guys that are in the business, first startups, and I give them those lawns quick. Like, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this person here might, they might be able to make you happier. Usually, my biggest issue is bringing a 60-inch zero turn on a smaller lawn, and it's an older couple where the husband has always push mowed it, and he push mowed it. It took him 2-3 hours to do,
Right.
and then I come in there in 15 minutes.
You're done.
I'm done. And he used to do the edges with a scissor. He was cutting the bushes. He'd always be doing something, and I'm in and out. You're done already. As soon as you hear that you're done already, it's going to be a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I hear that a lot, actually. It's kind of just some of that talk that you hear around the neighborhoods or where they talk about these companies, and, they talk about three people jump out of the truck and they're there for 5 minutes and they leave. They never talk about how they feel about the actual job that they did. They only talk about how fast they were in and out, you know?
I think that generation they're so used to making $15-20 an hour. You know, they
Yeah.
worked
Yeah.
in the mill, they worked in the coal mines, and you know, you charge them $35. You're there for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden it's like, now wait a minute. I didn't even make that. You know, you've been accused of probably. I'm sure you've been accused of. You make more than my doctor does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You didn't even
right.
go to college.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I
So.
always tell them, I say, you know, if I spend $20,000 on 2 mowers, it better not take me no 3 hours.
That's right.
That kind of lets
That's
them
right.
know. That kind of lets them know that you got a whole lot more invested than a push mower. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
figured it out. I figured it out on an average. When I pull up to a lawn, I'm probably pulling a rig up that's carrying about $70,000 worth of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You count truck, trailer, lawnmowers, and
Yeah,
everything goes with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way it me. I mean, when I pull up, I got $20,000 worth of lawnmowers, 2 mowers. You got a $3,200 sure track trailer, and then you got a $50,000 truck you're pulling it with. You
yeah.
know, a lot of
Hmm.
money. You make $20.
Man, I'm on the cheap side. Maybe I need to drop my rates. I'm only carrying like $12,000 worth of stuff.
You might be the smartest one of us all.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah, guys, I had to Joffrey back to the live stream and see you guys' computer back up. But
Hey, yeah,
welcome back, Joffrey.
I definitely wanted to come on and say hi to Johnny. Hey, Johnny, I enjoy watching your videos, and I always have been a big fan. So it's kind of special to me to be able to be on live with you. But
I
I do have a
appreciate it.
question
Thank
for
you.
you too. I kind of wanted to ask, so that's kind of why I popped on also. But so on my one more, because I know you do blade talk a lot, and that kind of has gotten me interested a little bit. I run Xmark, and but anyway, on the one more, I just have on the side discharge, I have a block off plate, trimmer trap that I can flip down or whatever. I've been running G5s like in the fall with leaves, but I'm getting a lot of blowout. Should I be running like a G3 instead? It's not going to give me as much lift and not as much suction, but it just seems like there's too much blowout with it, and I'm chasing the leaves more than I'm kind of grinding them up. I
Well,
don't
the
know.
Exmark G3s don't work too well. They leave a little line
Okay.
in between I think the middle blade and the far left blade, if I remember right. Um, you know, when you're dealing with Exmark, the deck is designed to create so much lift. There's so much force in the deck. You'd be better off going maybe with an Exmark blade.
Okay.
Um,
I just wanted to get more, be able to chop it up better. I mean, the one deck I have is a total mulch deck with the standard mulching blades, the wavy ones, and it does an excellent job. The only time it doesn't, if it's a little bit too wet, then I'm not getting enough suction. I have to go over it a little bit more. But usually 2 passes perpendicular to each other, and their leaves are done. They're completely gone. But like with that blocker plate, side discharging it and grinding them up. Sometimes it just seems like there's too much lift. I almost need them to be wet because if they're real dry, it seems like then I'm just chasing them around the yard. But
Now, when I do leaves, like right now, I'm not into any type of. I'm not striping them on. I'm not trying to make it like look awesome. I'm basically what I do is I blow all the leaves out. I start going around in a circle, side discharging with the chute open. Once I get them into a pile, once I get them to the point where the leaves aren't shooting over the pot over the pile, I will then close the plate off, and then
okay,
I'll hammer them. Then I'll start making my windrows again, my little lines, and I'll go back and forth, and then I'll spread them out through the lawn, and then I'll kind of look to see if it's working. If it's not going to work, then I just throw because sometimes you just have so many leaves that it's just not. I'll throw that little plate on. But my Toro does that. My Toro does what you're talking about. There's nothing really you can do. Because of the G5s, how great they are when they mulch it up. I just, it doesn't matter to me that because if I ever took a video of it, if I went down the row, there's so many leaves popping out the front. It's like it's shooting right out of the front of the deck.
Yeah.
And that's because of the so much suction up under there and the way it's baffled. To be honest with you, Exmark, the regular blades do a really good job because the way the Exmark deck is it's designed to cut grass 5 times before it leaves the chamber. So it goes behind the first, behind the second, behind the third, out to the front, and then back and then out. So the Toro's a little bit more open from the last chamber, so it gets the grass out before it really starts to get really cycled up in there. So I mean, honestly, I know
Maybe
guys that don't even use gator blades with an Exmark.
Yeah, so maybe I need to just go back to my high lifts. I don't know.
You can try it. My Toro doesn't work very well with the high lifts on them. Works great with the G5, but the G5 is definitely my favorite because I don't really care what it looks like. I'm not trying to cut lines. I'm just trying to devastate and pulverize leaves. Once the patio furniture's in, customers don't care. They really don't. They're not coming out to look at lines in their lawn anymore.
No.
Or they're not looking at the quality of cut. Is it perfectly bam? Once that patio furniture is put away, customers are in the house. They're not. They want you to get the leaves gone, get it gone, get that final bill. See you next year. It was great seeing you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, that helped for sure. I mean, that's true. I'm not worried so much about striping and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's more just getting the leaves up and out of there.
Yeah, grind them up as best you can. I mean, my mower shoots them everywhere. My Ferris did. They all do. Because there's so much suction underneath that deck. They all do it. I know what you mean about the Exmark, though. I do.
Yeah, and it's been pretty dry here recently, and I mean we've had some cold weather. So when they've been to the ground now, they're pretty well dry. I mean, there's not much moisture in them. So.
Oh, God bless you. I wish it was that way here. It rained all last week.
Okay.
And now it's snowing. It's pouring snow.
Oh, wow. That's what we had last year on Halloween. We had 4 inches of snow. And it was.
I don't know how much snow we have out there now, but the ground's covered. The vehicles are covered. I've got my plow on. I've got my salt spreader ready. I just turned on YouTube and just caught this live chat. I said, yeah, shove it in there.
Excellent. We're glad you did. Now, Johnny, do you wait till it stops snowing, or do they have you out there, just kind of on the tail end to get ahead of it, or you just wait till it all falls and then go out?
It would really depend on the amount. Like if we were going to get like 6 inches and above, I would go. If it was going to be a foot, I wouldn't wait till a foot. Right. But I kind of look to see when the snowstorm's going to stop. Looks like this one's going to stop around 3:30, 4 o'clock, and it's going to be a 1 to 3. That's really nothing for up here, so I could devastate that in a couple hours.
That would close our state down like COVID.
Well, telling you. I live 10 minutes from the snow belt, so that's really not. 1 to 3 is a dusting. It really is.
Probably your ground's pretty warm too still yet, right? So I mean it's going to melt off quick.
I hope. I think tomorrow, in my opinion, it was 50 degrees today. I just shot a video today. I just put it up, and when I shot the video, it was warm. I was in a short sleeve, and I was putting my plow stuff on, and I couldn't believe it. I coach a basketball team, and I had basketball practice tonight. And by the time I left basketball practice and got home, everything was covered. So it went from bright and sunny to everything is completely covered right now. I'm assuming I would say by 10:30, everything will be melted. And, those are the toughest bills to send out when you sold a parking lot. And you're like, wait a minute, it's been 60 degrees all month, and
So is it coming out of the north, Johnny?
It's coming. I live about an hour and a half south of Lake Erie. So Lake Erie comes off Lake Erie, and right now it's coming off perfect. It's coming across the warm lakes, and it's just pounding down It's pounding down Erie, Mercer. Mercer is 10 minutes north of me, and I live in Lawrence, so it comes off Cleveland, comes down through Ashtabula, comes down through Warren, hits us. I mean, it just because Lake Erie sits like this, and I'm kind of like right here, so anything comes off Lake Erie usually hits me. I'm about 10 minutes from the snow belt, so we get pounded. We do get pounded when it comes. Like last year wasn't a big year, but when it does come, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure people live like Mission, they get pounded too.
Yeah.
I'd say, Mark.
Does West Virginia get pounded?
Yeah, at times we do. Now, the last 2 years, we ain't done no snow removal. But now we're expecting it this year according to the weather. So we're ready for it. I've already picked up a couple of counts, so we're ready for it.
I think we get on average about 56 inches a year. I think
Really?
it's on average.
Wow.
Now, our north, just 1 hour north, is almost 100 inches, about 96 inches.
Yeah.
Wow.
About an hour north. So that's just that little bit of time span. They get pounded.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I like it, though.
I'd say.
Yeah. I miss that. I spent some time up in North Dakota when I was in the military, and I miss all that snow. But we rarely see it down here. 2009, 2010, we got a couple feet, and that just shut everything down, and everybody stayed in their house. And I remember I got one of those years I got stuck at work. I was at work for 3 days doing nothing but watching TV and eating potato soup. And but yeah, I missed that time in North Dakota because that was fun. It was fun to be in that snow. It was cold, I mean, of course, but yeah, it just kind of snow makes you feel like a kid to me. You know, if it's just cold, then it's
money for me.
Yeah. Money for you, yeah,
Snow's my
yeah,
biggest profit by far.
yeah.
There's nothing even close. There's nothing I do that's even close to snow. I mean, I never rely on snow, but when it falls, I remember one February I worked 23 out of 28 days, and it was my biggest month. Even when I had 2 trucks going out, it even beat the 2 trucks.
Yeah.
So, I love snow.
We done. It's been about 3 years ago. We had like 14 inches. And me and Caleb went out. We took my side by side. I had a snow blade. I put on the side by side. Believe it or not, we done $1,200 in 12 hours.
Oh, how much did you say?
$1,200.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's easy money.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Yeah, we were out for about
thousands in a day.
Yeah, easy.
8-hour day, thousands, easily.
Man.
Yeah.
When you when you go out first thing in the morning, if it's a snow event, you got to get them when they open, and if you have zero tolerance counts. So I have 5 0 tolerance, meaning they want done. If there's snow falling, they want done. So I open them up, then I go through the route again, and if it's still snowing, I go through the route again. It's amazing. By noon, you could have $1,000 easily.
Oh my gosh!
By noon, you could work from 4 o'clock in the morning to noon, have 1,000, and then the next day, it's almost guaranteed because you have free straw. You're going to go out and do another salting.
Make a Southern boy jealous.
Well, you guys cut more than we do, so we got to do something.
That's why we got to go get second jobs and everything.
Well, don't you cut all year?
No, we don't. Well, we got the Bermuda, so I mean, we got a little cold early this year, but it's done growing. I actually went around and checked all my lawns today, and I cut one fescue lawn, and it was mostly leaves anyway. But our temperatures have been, we've had some overnights in the 20s last week, and highs, in the 30s. So this week is pretty warm, but it just didn't have enough time to grow, So, and most of it's Bermuda, so it's pretty well done. Pretty well. And then we'll start back up probably second week of March.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought you guys went all year long.
No, not here. Now, some of the higher end neighborhoods where they can afford to maintain that cooler season grass, like the ryegrass. You got some ryegrass and you got some fescue around here, but that's not my area. It's pretty competitive. As a matter of fact, when I first got into the business, I did some work for my friend on the north end of the city. That's where those high end neighborhoods are, and he had a guy cutting his lawn out there because he knew that I just didn't have the time to go out there because it's 30 minutes away. I'm not driving 30 minutes. Uh, I just didn't have that in my schedule. And he was talking to his lawn guy and says, "Hey, you got any advice for my guy or for my friend?" And he goes, "Yeah, stay on the south side." I was like, "Well, that's not nice." So it's pretty territorial up there. We're down here, it's easy pickings. You get all these little, 3,000, 5,000 square foot, properties. You charge them, I mean, it's anywhere from $25 to $40 in that. There's bigger ones, you can charge more for that, but it's kind of it's just less competitive, and I wouldn't drive 30 minutes to go compete with those guys that are gonna, probably try to put me out of business, when I really can stay on this side and get all the lawns I want, but you kind of put yourself out of, it's just a different kind of market over there though, they're kind of a full service kind of thing. So if you're just kind of just trying to mow some lawns for, your side hustle, that type of stuff, then that probably was better advice. But I think what they were trying to say was, you're not gonna do well here. So that kind of is what it is. And if I were going to make this a full-time go, I'd probably do work anywhere around the city, just get more work there and try to compete with that. But no need for that. But yeah, so if you're dealing just with the Bermuda, our mowing season is just about over. And of course, the ice storm that we had, so there's a lot of cleanup, but I'm not taking part in that myself because I'm scared of heights. But yeah, that's what everybody's doing around here right now. And then if you're a sprayer, people are spraying all year here.
Okay.
Even when the ground is frozen, they're still spraying.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that. Tree trimming if you do trees, but I'm not sure what some of the larger companies are doing because I'm primarily mowing for me. So but I like the break myself because that gives me time to invest back in my family.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you guys know how it goes. I mean, you'll get up and you'll work from sun up to sundown, and somebody pays for that. It's not just your customer, it's your family too. So I kind of enjoy the break myself. But I have that full-time income as well, so I can do that. But
about how many weeks do all you guys work? Like I'm about 32, 33 weeks of cutting max, meaning if it's a great year. How about you guys?
My factor is 36 weeks.
36, okay.
Yeah, that's what I factor. Now, sometimes it comes out a little more, sometimes it comes out a little less, and sometimes that's a weekly count as well.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on that person's lawn because some of them are gonna, go further into the season. Some are gonna start up a little bit earlier, but I try to factor 36 weeks. And if I can't get 36 weeks out of that lawn, I kind of try to, upsell them a little bit to maybe provoke their lawn to grow a little bit, because you got those unhealthy lawns. The unhealthy lawns, they look kind of trashy until they get cut, but they don't really need to be cut, based off of height because they don't grow, soil compaction, because we have real clay soil around here. So it's really compact, and sometimes those lawns, it's just they're just not thriving. So you won't get very many weeks out of those. But they're kind of a hard upsell around here because if their lawn is in that condition, they're probably not that interested, and they probably like the fact that you don't cut that much. Yeah. Oh.
How about you other guys?
For me, Johnny, it'd be about the same as you. It'd be about 30 years. Most years probably get about 20 or 30 or so. So
I'm coming to give him the gentle. The kids are in the car and we're waiting to go home.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I'm on remote location. Yeah. But I want to finish this thought out, though, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, ours is pretty similar to yours, Johnny. About, if it was a perfect year, it'd be around 30, 32. This year was actually pretty darn close to that for me. I think I skipped maybe about two times. We had some very timely rains, and we started pretty early too, about the 1st of April, which a lot of times it depends. It might be the 15th of April. Um, but yeah, now the grass is pretty well done. It's just the cleanups.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, gosh, guys, that was a bit abrupt for me. I apologize for that, but she's right. I try to keep this at about an hour, and we're about 17 minutes over. But
All right, guys.
I wanted to do that because I just really
Johnny.
appreciate you, Johnny. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. I think it was a great live, and can't wait for next week.
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Good to see you guys again. Yep.
See you next
All right,
week,
guys.
man.
So you guys too. And I guess same thing as always. You guys pray for me, and you guys know I'm praying for you. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right, buddy.
All right.